Hello friends, welcome to a new episode of Drishti IAS Editorial Analysis. In this editorial analysis, we do three things. First of all, we link the editorial to the UPSC syllabus. Secondly, we try to understand the key points of the editorial. And thirdly, if any key concepts have come in the editorial and are important from exam point of view, we also discuss them. So let us begin today's editorial analysis.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
We have taken today's editorial from the Hindu and it has come on 4th of August. The title of the editorial is Toxic Brew, and it talks about the liquor tragedies which can be prevented if state governments close the gap for hooch and ensure accountability. So let us look at its linkage with the syllabus. So it directly links with GS paper 2, where we have governance as one of the important topics. And under this it links with government policies and interventions. Also it links with the social sector and also with the issues relating to poverty. So here we will be basically discussing the illicit liquor and its ill effects on the society. So after establishing the linkage with the syllabus, now let us look at its key points. So before moving on to the key points of the editorial, let us understand what the issue is all about. So during the last few days, there have been two major tragedies, one in Punjab and the other in Andhra Pradesh, and both have to do with spurious liquor or illicit liquor. The term illicit means illegal, so something which is being manufactured without due permissions and not under regulated conditions is termed as illicit liquor. And spurious liquor means that some adulterant or some toxic chemicals have been mixed to cut down on cost, but which have a damaging impact on the health of the human beings who consume such liquor. So the Andhra Pradesh case is where people consumed hand sanitizers, and we must know that hand sanitizers also contain alcohol. So the people who were addicted to alcohol, they consumed these hand sanitizers by mixing it with cold drinks and other things. And this the addicts were forced to do due to these districts becoming COVID-19 hotspots, due to which the liquor outlets in these districts were shut, and this happened in the Prakasham district in Andhra Pradesh. While the case in Punjab is of spurious liquor, where three districts of Punjab have been directly impacted. One is the Amritsar rural, other is the Taran Taran, third is Gurdaspur. In Punjab case, FIRs have been registered under following sections of IPC 304, 307 and 120. We should basically know what these stand for. So section 304 of Indian Penal Code basically stands for punishment for culpable homicide not amounting to murder. And here we should also know the difference. Homicide means killing an individual. Now this killing, if it is intentional, it becomes a murder. And if it is unintentional, then it becomes a case of manslaughter. Section 307 of IPC stands for attempt to murder. And section 120 of IPC, which stands for concealing a design to commit an offence. Basically conspiring to commit an offence. So the Punjab government has ordered a magisterial inquiry while opposition has been demanding a judicial probe. And here the difference between the two is the magisterial inquiry will be conducted by the officials appointed by the state government. So the state government will have a lot of say in the inquiry or how it is conducted. While a judicial probe, which the opposition is demanding, will be headed by a High Court or Supreme Court judge. And obviously the state government will have less of a say in its findings and the way it conducts the investigation. Another related issue here is that alcohol is in the state list. An excise duty is imposed on alcohol manufacture, and it is an indirect tax. And it can be compared to the customs duty which is levied on the imported items. And the excise duty on liquor is one of the biggest revenue earners for the state governments, and that is why it has not been included within the purview of GST. Other items which are not in GST are land, electricity and petroleum products. This also we should be knowing. So what are the toxic elements that are added to liquor which makes it poisonous? So the manufacture of unregulated liquor is known as illicit liquor. And in this, adulterants are added to the liquor like methanol and other organophosphorus compounds. And this is basically done by the adulterers to save on cost. And for this purpose, generally methanol is being used. And why methanol is being used? Because one of the primary ingredient of alcohol is ethanol or ethyl alcohol. Now ethanol and methanol, they are very similar, but methanol is poisonous and toxic. Methanol is basically used for polishing furnitures, and because it is less expensive and very similar to ethanol, it is used as an adulterant to manufacture spurious liquor. And methanol is highly toxic and its consumption leads to tissue damage and also deaths. And why these incidents are happening repeatedly and what does it show? So these repeated incidents of spurious liquor leading to the deaths of many people, this is showcasing the poor governance to detect the production and movement of illicit liquor. Also, it points out to the corruption in which police, politicians, and the criminal elements are together. Also, it shows the lack of coordination between the state governments, as illicit liquor made in one state freely finds its way to another state. And to control this, better coordination is required between the state governments and their agencies. Also, it has to do with the distorted policies of the state governments, where they tax the liquor heavily, due to which it becomes unaffordable for the masses, and it gives an opening to the bootleggers to supply spurious liquor and earn higher profits, but at the same time endanger the lives of people who are consuming such spurious liquor. Another policy which is leading to such cases is the policy of prohibition, which is being pursued by some of the state governments. It also leads to smuggling of liquor. And finally, one more cause is the lack of awareness among the people. They do not realize that while consuming the spurious liquor, they are putting themselves at great risk. So these are the factors which can be cited in an answer on why such liquor tragedies are happening frequently. Now let us look at some of the steps that can be taken. So first of all, there is a need to break the corruption nexus between the police, the smugglers, and the politicians. Secondly, speedy and effective investigation has to be carried out in all such cases, and it has to be followed by exemplary punishment to the bootleggers. Thirdly, awareness campaigns are a must so that people become aware of the dangers posed by spurious liquor and how consuming such spurious liquor can put their lives at risk. Also, there has to be more consistency and clarity in the policy concerning liquor sales by the state governments. No doubt liquor contributes to the state exchequer, and the state governments always have a vested interest in high taxes on liquor. But these high taxes make the prices of liquor very high and it becomes unaffordable for the masses. And it provides an opportunity for the criminal elements to come and supply illicit liquor, which sometimes leads to fatalities. So that is something for the state governments to think about and rationalize their taxes on the liquor. So after this background, let us look at some of the key points of the editorial. So the editorial says that once again the scourge of illicit liquor has struck, and this time in Punjab, killing more than 100 people and leaving many crippled. And the three districts at the center of this are Amritsar, Taran and Gurdaspur districts. And the victims had consumed illicit liquor or hooch that apparently had a large amount of denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol means it is a combination of methanol plus ethanol. Now the state government, which is responsible for both excise and law and order, as both of these are state subjects, it has sanctioned financial relief for the affected families and suspended some policemen and officials in charge of excise enforcement. But this is too little and too late. And there are various claims made that there was an inter-district racket in operation for a long time, and even after multiple complaints were made to the state administration, no action was taken. And only after this tragedy, some of these people have been arrested. And the editorial also talks about last year's two major incidents which happened in Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand and Assam. And both these incidents witnessed large scale loss of life. But still, no broad based policy has been made at the central level to contain and limit such tragedies. Also, the editorial says that due to this COVID-19 pandemic, many people who are addicted to alcohol consumption, they have consumed hand sanitizers as a substitute, and this happened most recently in Andhra Pradesh, where also people lost their lives. Next, the editorial says that almost every year, India's moonshine market. Now, moonshine means smuggled alcohol. And this smuggled alcohol inflicts tremendous destruction in the form of causing blindness, tissue damage, and deaths of people who consume such smuggled liquor. And the reason is that as the commercial alcohol, which is legitimate, it is becoming more and more expensive due to the taxes imposed by the state government. The less affluent people have no recourse but to opt for these spurious variety of liquor, which is supplied at lower cost, but which extracts a high cost in the form of damage to health and sometimes even leading to deaths. And the chemical which is often used for making this spurious liquor is toxic methanol. The editorial suggests that from a medical viewpoint, the governments must ensure the availability of licit spirits which are not illegal, which are legal and manufactured under regulated conditions, and which contain lower alcohol levels. They should be available at affordable costs for people who are addicted to alcohol. And this should be combined with a sustained public health campaign to wean people away from the drinking habit and to warn them about the effects of contaminants which are present in the spurious liquor and how it can damage their health and even put their life at risk. Also, such kind of health communication is more pertinent during the time of such pandemic, as there is evidence of reduced immunity to viruses among those who are chronic alcohol consumers. And as the World Health Organization has also said that governments have to regulate the quality of legal alcoholic drinks while actively tracing and tracking illicit alcohol, because the problem lies with illicit alcohol, which is being manufactured illegally and which may have content which can have dangerous consequences on the health of those who consume it. And this will require cooperation from the community as well, and particularly from the women's groups. And women groups have played a major role in controlling alcohol consumption and also leading the campaign for prohibition in some of the states. But the editorial says that the unfortunate part is many of the state governments give low priority to revamping the excise administration and policing, which are key to controlling this menace of illicit liquor. Also, the state governments must raise the capability of the health system in every district to reduce the damage from methanol through immediate and simple detoxification therapies, which should be available at all district hospitals. So this was all in the key points of the editorial. Now let us look at some key concepts. In key concepts, we'll look at illicit alcohol. So illicit alcohol is produced under unregulated circumstances and is often contaminated with methanol or other organophosphorus compounds, and this is basically done to save cost. And the toxicity in such adulterated alcohol comes from drinking methanol, which changes to formic acid inside the body, resulting in blindness, tissue damage, or even death. And this illicit trade in alcohol is a worldwide problem, and it represents significant percentage of alcoholic beverage consumption in the world. And according to WHO estimates, unrecorded alcohol accounts for 25.5% of total worldwide adult alcohol consumption and is projected to increase to 27.7% in 2020. And in India, the situation is even worse. According to a 2018 study by WHO, unrecorded alcohol amounts up to 45% of all the consumed alcohol in India, and that is where the problem lies. And the deaths caused by illicit alcohol poisoning is a shocking and regular occurrence in India. And in 2019, there were two major tragedies. One in February 2019, where illicit alcohol consumption in Assam led to 150 deaths and 200 injured. And another 100 people from Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand died from consuming spurious liquor. Also, the industry body, which is Confederation of Indian Alcoholic Beverage Companies, CIABC, it also has urged the state governments to allow sale of alcoholic beverages, saying that a blanket ban during the lockdown to contain COVID-19 pandemic resulted in the increased sale of illicit and spurious liquor, while also causing loss to the state exchequer. Now some steps have also been taken by state governments to curb this illegal trade in liquor. So state governments employ a variety of regulatory and legal mechanisms. One is fiscal marking or tax stamps has emerged as one of the regulatory approach for reducing the illicit alcohol market in India. Secondly, in Uttar Pradesh, the government has introduced 2D barcodes to implement track and trace technology, which has been detailed in the state's excise policy. Now, this can be cited as an example if such a question comes in mains. And thirdly, many states like Gujarat and Bihar have banned consumption of alcoholic beverages, which is at times counterproductive because what was being done legally after prohibition or ban on sale of liquor, it goes underground. So people who are addicted to alcohol still consume alcohol, but at a much higher risk. They have to pay higher price for it, and at the same time there is much more risk to their health, as they are not sure of from where this alcohol is coming and what has been mixed in it. So after this, let us look at what kind of questions can be asked in prelims and mains. So in prelims, the question can be science based. For example, what is the common adulterant which is used to manufacture spurious liquor? So we should be knowing that it is methanol, and we should be also knowing about this term denatured spirit, which is a mixture of methanol plus ethanol. Also, a question can be asked about which article of the Constitution talks about prohibition. So it is Article 47, listed under Directive Principles of State Policy in Part 4 of the Constitution. In mains, the question can be about what are the factors for the growth of illicit liquor trade. So that we have discussed. Also, the steps taken by government to counter it. So you can suggest and tell about some of the steps that have been taken by various state governments, like the 2D barcodes by Uttar Pradesh government. Another question can be on prohibition or regulating the liquor, which is a better option and why. So this was all in today's editorial analysis. We'll see you next time with another editorial. Thank you.